I've been learning about juicing for over 20 years, and over 4 years ago, I gave up drinking alcohol. And today I'm going to share with you exactly how I did it. My mentor, Vera Dixon, was instrumental in helping me overcome addiction. She taught me that nature abhors a vacuum and that anything that we take away, we are going to replace. Overcoming addiction, it's really important to consciously choose what you're going to overplace the addiction pattern with. And we're also more likely to show up for the thing that we're replacing it with if we like it. That's why it's really important to choose something that you like when getting rid of something that you really, really like. For me, I wasn't a raging alcoholic at all. I was one of these 5 o'clock, let's drink fancy wine. I was all about sulfate free and finding the best organic wine and sourcing it. It was all just a whole lifestyle for me. It was like every evening after the kids came home, I would start cooking and I would pour myself a glass of wine. I might have only had 1 or 2 glasses of wine every night to unwind, but it became a habitual pattern. It became something that I needed. I knew when I was embarking on this holistic lifestyle that I wanted to be free of that. I didn't want that habit to be controlling my life. It was also very expensive. I was spending a lot of money on the wine, and it really wasn't good for my body. After practicing Polistic Yoga for 8 months, I had kind of gotten to a plateau. I wasn't really moving forward, and I knew that those daily glasses of wine were holding me back. This juice that I'm sharing today is the one that helped me kick the habit of alcohol, and it's helped me stay sober ever since. The juice that I'm sharing today is grapefruit, pear, and ginger. I absolutely love the grapefruit. It really wakes you up. The ginger is spicy, and the pear gives it a little sweet kick. So how I overcame alcohol addiction is I used Polistic Yoga and juicing. I knew that my hard time of the day was between 3 and 5 p.m. Those were really my trigger times. My kids were coming home from school. I was often juggling dinner, their activities, my younger daughter. It just seemed like I had a lot going on, and between 3 to 5 is when that time of stress really became intense. And that's typically when I would pop that bottle of wine and have my first drink of the day to just kind of ease into the evening and relax. And I was also drinking coffee in the morning. So what I noticed is by 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I was having that big energy downturn. So I was like crashing out from the caffeine. So that's another thing that I did when I gave up drinking alcohol was I gave up drinking that coffee, and I gave up all caffeine actually. Well, the only caffeine I do now is some dark chocolate. But I gave up drinking any caffeine at all because those kind of went hand in hand. I was having that really big spike in the morning, crashing in the evening, and then having the wine as a kind of pick-me-up to help me relax through and get to until bedtime. So what I did was I did the pole sessions around 2 o'clock, and then I would juice right after between 3 and 4, and it gave me something to do. It gave me something positive to focus on, and it also helped me get through that time because pole and the juice gives me natural energy, and that was really essential to me to have the energy to get through overcoming the addiction. I hear that a lot from people going through withdrawal is they get super tired and they lack energy, so it's really important to fill your body with something good that's going to help get you over the hump. And I also knew that if I could get over it, 21 days, 44 days, I knew that if I could get over those amount of days, then I would have this habit under control. I gave myself 2 years and 2 weeks where I said, I'm just going to be sober for these next 2 years and 2 weeks. It was actually 8/19/18 when I finally woke up and I said enough. On 8/18/18, I went to a wedding and I had too much to drink that night. Somebody came and they confided in me, and to be honest, I don't remember everything that was said in that conversation. That's really embarrassing for me to admit that to you, but it's the truth. And I had been developing Polistic Yoga, and I'm also an ordained minister, and it's really important for me to be present to hold space for anybody, anytime that I meet. So on 8/19/18, I woke up and I said, that's it. I'm gonna turn 40 and I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life. Now remember, at the beginning of 2018, I already almost weighed 200 pounds. So I had made a lot of progress in those first 8 months of the year, but I knew that I wanted to turn 40 and have a whole new life. So I did it. 2 years and 2 weeks, not a drop of alcohol. When I turned 40, I said, I am gonna live the best day of my life every single day from here on out. For the rest of my life, I'm gonna fill it with my best days ever. I didn't even have my passport at that time. And it was my goal to get my passport and to travel the world. And I did it. Now I'm over 2 years later, still no alcohol, and I've decided to take a vow of sobriety for the rest of my life. I've now traveled to 7 countries, and I host retreats in Costa Rica, and I've been there 9 times. That's a lot in a short amount of time. And every day I can wake up and I can say, I'm living my best life. Even though I've had some really hard days in the last 2.5 years, I can tell you that my life without alcohol has been 100% better. And I'm so glad that I made that hard choice and I went through those hard days. And I'm really grateful that I had these tools to rely on. So that's a lot of a backstory for me to get to this recipe, but I just wanted to tell you how important this recipe can be and how essential it was for me overcoming these obstacles in my life. I've now shared this recipe with many of my students and they love it too. So I really hope that you love it as well. We're gonna get started, and maybe you've seen my other videos before on this channel about ginger, but I'm gonna go over it again just in case you haven't. So this is ginger root. And you can get ginger root anywhere. Any grocery store has ginger root. And a lot of times people are using ginger root incorrectly when it comes to juicing. They're using the entire root. We just want to use just a small notch, and you can start off with a small amount and add more as you go up. This isn't like a ginger shot. Especially with people who are new to ginger, I want you to start off small and then go bigger as you work up. I still don't use a whole lot of ginger in my juice, but I really do love ginger. So today we're gonna start out at this first notch right there. See how it's got these little notches in it? And we're gonna use this amount of ginger. So a tiny amount of ginger. I like to say ginger and beet are kind of like the salt and pepper of your juices. Okay, and then we're gonna use 2 grapefruit and 1 pear. So we're gonna peel our grapefruit. I'm going to put my grapefruit in a pan with some water, some peels, and I'm going to put it on the stove, and it's going to give my house some nice natural aromatherapy. So now that I've got my grapefruit peels going, it's a great room deodorizer, and I love the aromatherapy of it. And it's just a nice way to use the grapefruit peel before you toss them. You can put them in your compost after you're done, or you can just toss them in the garbage. Okay, so now we're going to start with our juice. We're going to use 2 grapefruit, 1 pear, and our slice of ginger. If you want it a little bit more sweet, you can use more pear, less grapefruit. You test it out and you try what works for you. I really love grapefruit, so that's why I'm going to use more grapefruit than pear. And one of the things that I tell my students about juicing is it's really important for you to find things that you like. If you don't like grapefruit and this juice just totally grosses you out, don't do it. Don't even do it. Find a juice that you like, and that's why I'm sharing a lot of recipes with you here on YouTube so that I can help you find something that suits your taste so that you will be going back to your juicer over and over again. You've got to make it fun and you've got to make it taste good or you're not going to show up to do it long term. Okay, here we go. When you're juicing your ginger, you're going to put it in first, and you're going to follow up with one of your harder foods. And one of the things I love about the Breville juicer is that it has a wide mouth at the top so we don't have to cut our fruit really small. Okay, here we go. There we go, now we're gonna try it. It's got just the perfect amount of ginger, just a nice little kick to it. The sweetness of that pear really comes through. It's so delicious. My cup's a little small here, but look at that. I made just enough. A few questions that I've had from my students is, can you juice and keep it in bulk? I do not suggest that. I know some people do, but I was taught that you need to juice and drink your juice right away. Now, if you do want to juice and you want to keep it for 24 hours, this is a good juice to do it because it's got this citrus in it. If you are going to keep it for 24 hours, I would put half a lemon in there just to help preserve it a little bit longer. I would not juice any greens and keep them longer than just a few hours. That's just my personal opinion. If you have a way that works better for you, you follow that. Another question I get is, can you use ice? I do not use ice in my juice. Your body actually digests food better, drinks better at room temperature. If you really, really want a cold juice, put your fruit and vegetables in the refrigerator. You're probably not gonna get as much juice out of them though if they're juiced cold. But if you want something cold, leave it in there, or stick this glass of juice in the freezer for just about 10 minutes and that's gonna chill it. I want you to really like the juice and I want you to feel good showing up to it. I also suggest you get out a journal and write down all your whys of why you're gonna be a juicer and why you're gonna incorporate this into your life. If you need help overcoming addiction, we have the trauma healing course in the Polistic Yoga Academy, and I'm gonna leave a session down for you below. It's a $97 value for this session, and I'm gonna leave that for you as your gift for getting to the end of this video today. In that trauma healing course, we go over different things that could be causing trauma, and a lot of times the root of addiction is in our trauma. We're avoiding feeling something. We're avoiding something that happened in the past. We're avoiding past memories. We're avoiding this inner conflict that's living within. And so that's why I think it's really important to address the root cause of the trauma that's leading to your addiction. It's also really important to have these goals, have these tools, have your intention, and have a support system. That's another thing that the Polistic Yoga Academy offers, is a support system for you when you're overcoming these addictions. Just this month alone, we have people overcoming cannabis addiction, alcohol addiction, cigarette addiction, and you know what? Sometimes it takes people years to get over these addictions, so we don't judge. We're a really open-minded community, and we give each other support. So if somebody falls down, we say, it's okay, get back up and try again. That's what I love about this community. That's a worldwide community, and a lot of our polars are even over 50. So if you're a mom or a grandma and you're looking for a support system and you're looking for a community, our online community is here for you. We have polars from around the world, so it doesn't matter where you're at, you can join us. I'm gonna link that information for you down below so that you can join us, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with all the videos that I post here. You can have your cake and eat it too with Polistic Pole Yoga. Cheers to you living your best life. Maybe I'll see you on the pole, or I'll see you next time here in the kitchen. Namaste at the pole.